Okay, it's Thursday, December 15th. This is a pre-opening SPY report, and a lot of things seem to be coming together this morning. We will find out. First of all, we're gapping lower. You can see here between these two blue lines, that's the pre-market range. We're near the bottom of that range, so we're going to open with another two down market today. And the only way that reverses to the upside, assuming we open kind of at the bottom at a two down, is if we kind of come above the not only the pre-market highs, but go to the halfway point of yesterday's bar, and that's not anticipated. So let's now look at the downside. What seems to be unfolding now. First of all, I discussed in this big range, a lot of times when you reject one side of the range, you go to the other side. So we rejected on Tuesday, the top of the range, big gap up, came down. A lot of data was released in those 2 days that the market was kind of waiting for. So we kind of were pretty volatile in this area, but now we're going down. So it looks like from the standpoint of rejecting one side of the range, we're going to the bottom of the range. Now, in terms of where open, let's say we open up here near the blue line, that's also near a kind of a minor yellow line here, which was the open of the week. So this weekly chart's about to turn red, and you can see it's a big shooter bar given that we have 2 days to go in the week now. It looks like whatever happens in these next 2 days, this is going to end up a shooter bar that should continue lower into the next week. That's why sometimes you have to look when things happen, and we're getting this look of this weekly bar near the end of the week with high probability you're going to kind of hold this shooter looking bar, whether it ends up big red or just kind of holds in here, which would mean follow through next week. So you got to kind of look a little forward in that sense. Also, we're coming right down here on this lower blue line, right to the, you can look at these 4 bars here. This is an obvious target with stops, and once that's hit, then we kind of have this yellow line that I've had in place for a long time that's very close as well. So this whole area here is a lot of stops that you would think should be taken out, and on the monthly chart, that all of a sudden starts doing what we've been discussing for a while. It kind of allows this monthly chart to possibly be failing up at the top and going to the halfway point of the prior month, which could project all the way down to that month by the end of December. Now, even though I think it's high probability to take out these stops, the question's still going to be, as always, when you come to a key area like this, do you just take out the stops and possibly reverse higher, or are you going to continue lower? And given this weekly chart being a strong shooter bar, likely, I would think you're going to take this out, maybe pause for a little bit, but eventually, since there should be follow through into next week, that could start really triggering the downside. So the bottom line is, as we kind of work lower here with about a half hour to go before the open, I'm going to be pretty aggressive going to the short side. The ideal thing would be get some kind of little up opening and to get short, and then kind of, work below the pre-market lows and into all those targets on the daily chart. So we'll just have to see how it opens. But the main determination will be, can we get red bars going below this whatever the pre-market low is and following through lower? That's going to obviously be the structure we're looking for, whether it develops right out of the opening or whether we move up a little bit first and then kind of roll over. We'll have to see. But let's just see, in terms of the upside, there's nothing that I see that's going to bring us to the upside unless we get above this pre-market high, which would be, you want to get at that point, you're still well below the halfway point of the prior day. So downside expected today. Let's just see how it all unfolds. Let's see if it really starts a chain reaction of some even bigger price action to the downside as well, which could definitely be happening, given the failure of the top of this range, the targets below, and then the fact that once you reach these targets, it could be the big failure on the monthly chart as well, down to some of these levels. So that's the expectation today. You never know for sure. Let's just watch price action.